everybody, it's Doug here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to episode 3 of my playthrough of Tiny Epic Defenders using the Dark War expansion. We're going to get right into the gameplay. I don't think there's any reason to hesitate or comment much, though my little bit of commentary is that this is the right version of the game. If you played this before and you thought maybe it's too hard or it didn't have enough value, enough replay value, this solves all of that, especially with the expansion. In fact, I can't imagine ever playing this again without the expansion. It's just, so far, really good experience, and I hope you are enjoying it. We're going to get started right away. I have set up for our next turn, and I got the deck all ready to go. We're just going to start going. You notice we got the Siren card already in the discard pile, which is awesome, because the ruins are allowing us to do that. And yeah, I think we're going to try. Now, it costs us an action to keep those guys out of play, and it's stopping us from getting an artifact, but more baddies will come into play as we go. And I don't know, you know, this card here and this one here where you're allowed to take the top card of a deck really alarm me. Even though we got quite a few enemy cards in here, we still have you know, all 4 of our hero cards, and I get concerned. Now, if I run through the hero cards fast, I may do that, seeing the opportunity there, but we'll see how that goes. So anyway, let's get started with our next turn and just get right into the action. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to draw our first card. It is an enemy card. It's going to be the spiders and the scorpions. Spiders in the forest, scorpions in the desert. Now the question of the day is, I did prepare Terex here in the forest to be able to stop this from happening, and I think he's going to. So what we're going to do is he's going to use his maneuver skill, which means he's going to become exhausted again because he is using his ability. It says, when you defend against a regular enemy, you may lose 2 health to defend both attacked regions on the enemy card. So we're going to do that, which means neither of these regions are going to increase. They're going to stay where they are as far as threat is concerned. Okay, and that is basically it for that card. Now, Terex cannot do that again. So if one of these comes up again, we're just going to have to suffer the consequences if it is a forest card. It is not. It is Harpier's turn. And you know, in the last episode, I kept realizing I was interchanging the names of Terex and Harpier. Harpier is the Pigfolk Gladiator, the yellow player, and he is next. So we got 3 actions for him, and I do believe I know what he's going to do. Let's see. So he is up here in the coast, and we got to get this caravan back. So I think one of the things that I know we're going to do is now he's only got 3 actions, right? Now we know we can spend 2 actions to rejuvenate and get him up to full health. He's currently got 2 points of damage on him. I'm not too worried about that because we're going to be heading back to the city. So he's going to spend 1 experience point. That puts him down to 2 to move there with these guys. That's 1 action also. And then he'll do that again, and we're using the escort action to do that. The escort action says escort a caravan by moving it with you into the region, and that does require both a action and experience point. So we're going to go down to 1 experience point, and he's going to pull the guys into there. That is 2 actions, 2 of his 3 actions, but moving the caravan into there gets him his 2 experience back, so he's back up to 3, and then he is going to spend his last action to move back to the mountains. So he moved there with his final action, and that's going to be his entire turn. We got the second of our 6 caravans back to the city. That is helpful. He escorted the poor refugees from the coast back there. Okay, let's continue on. All right, hopefully all the players go first, and I could take advantage of some ability to get rid of cards, but no. Oh, mountains and the ruins. Okay, well, that's new. That's a new one that's come out for us. Ooh, I don't have anybody in the ruins. We really can't prevent that at all. I know the ruins are going to go up 1, but we're going to have somebody there pretty soon. Oh, I moved the wrong pawn back. Actually, it should be this one that's here. That is Gamelin's pawn right there. Now, though, the mountains are attacked, so we have to look at the Savage Manticore. When the region with the Manticore is attacked, move the Manticore clockwise 1 region. If a defender is in the region the Manticore moves to, they must choose to either move to the clockwise adjacent region without spending an action, or stay in the region and lose a health. A region with the Manticore cannot be defended. Well, that's kind of rough, though, isn't it? I think that's the only card, so I think we're okay. But that means the Manticore mana core is going to fly over here. It doesn't prevent this from happening, so this also goes up. But I can defend that place because the Manticore left, and I think we're going to. Oh, you know what? Yeah, that was a bad move on my part with Harpier. Should have stayed in the city one more round, so next round he healed up when he left. But we're going to defend that region and not go up on the mountain track. It's going to stay there, and that puts Harpier up to 4 experience too. So that was helpful. But yeah, it's kind of rough up in the ruins, and we don't want the ruins to get messed up. We don't, because that is one of our secret weapons right there. So we'll see how that goes. That was pretty rough, but the mana core has moved. If there was a player in the space with the mana core, it would have had to move clockwise or lose health. Okay, well that's that. Let's see what we get next. Oh my gosh, it's just going to be a brutal turn for us, isn't it? All the baddies are coming out first before we get to do things. So Terex cannot defend against the forest at all, so it's going to go up 1. And then also the coast is going to go up 1. Could be worse. You know, all the ones at 0 are going to go up at least 1 anyway, but that's it. So those two, the threat goes up, and those as spiders, and then weird sea creatures attack the forest and the coast. Well, I guess our player turns are going to start coming pretty soon. Well, there's the blue player. Gamelin is going to go. So being that he started his turn in a city, it says you get to rest if you begin your turn in the capital. You are fully healed, which is very, very nice. So what we're going to do here with Gamelin is you're going to go 1, 2 to there. I think we're going to use his dual wield ability. It says, just pop this up for you again to remind you, spend 1 experience on your turn, reduce 1 threat in your current outer region. So we're going to do that because we don't want to mess around. So wait, 1, 2, this is not an action, this is using experience points. So his experience points go down to 2, he had 3, which drops the threat there, and then he's going to activate the Entomb ability with his final action in the ruins to mess with the sirens again. We don't want them going back into the draw deck yet. So they're going to go right there, and then at the shuffling of the next turn, they'll go back in. That is Gamelin's turn. Not a bad round for Gamelin, except he's now with the mana core, so we can't defend the ruins. It's not good for us, so we can do things like secure the region and drop the threat that way, which we just kind of did using his dual wield ability. So I think that was a good use of Gamelin, but that is the end of his turn. Okay, let's see what we got next. All defenders, so we got 3 actions to spend with all defenders. Okay, all right. What are we going to do here? Yes, I think what we're going to do is, well, Terax cannot do anything right now in his region because he's not well. So I think we're going to go with, I think we're going to use Gamelin one more time. His first action is going to be to drop this down. He's going to secure the ruins, and then he's going to spend the second of these three actions to spend an experience point and take the caravan back to there, and then he'll spend the last of 3 actions to use all of his experience points and bring the caravan back to there. Now, returning the caravan for him does give him 2 additional experience points. So even though he went down to 0 doing that, he goes back up to 2, and he got to do that off his turn. That is really, really good. So I'm pretty pleased with that turn of events. Next up, let's see what we get. Oh, we're going to get Terex's turn. Well, we know what he's doing first. He's going to use his first aid, which is going to require 2 experience points to heal him down to 3. Okay, then he's still got all 3 of his actions, so he's going to use 1 experience point to go up, or 1 action to prepare, which puts him up to 2. Then he'll burn both of those to go back down to 1. So now he's pretty healthy. Oh, sorry, not back down to 1, back down to 2. It only heals 1, takes 2 experience though. And that was 1 action, actually, because the only thing he's done so far is prepare. So he's got 2 more actions left. Those he's going to reduce this by 1 here with a secure event. He's going to secure the region and drive out the spiders. We have 1 more action we can do with him. I guess I should prepare so he has some experience. I don't have enough to do this. I was thinking about reducing the threat in the coast. It's not at risk yet. It's okay. And you know, us actually, Gamelin probably shouldn't have reduced this to 0, but because the other bad guys are going to come out, and I don't remember where they come out, but we'll see. Yeah, I think what we're going to do with him is we will secure, or actually no, we're going to prepare, which means he'll go back up to 1 experience point, and that's going to be the end of his turn. I mean, not a real dynamic turn. He healed himself up, and he's prepared to be able to use his ability again, which he probably will have to do, so we'll see. Okay, let's see what happens next. Come on, we got 3 of our caravans there. That's pretty good. The Harpies, Dire Enemy Frenzy, all outer regions at level 0. This is going into the mountains with our guy Harpier. Now, here's a cool thing that we can do. Now, I didn't start in the city. He can't heal there. But what he can do is use his Ironhide ability. If a dire enemy attacks the region you're in, you do not defend, its ability is canceled, but the region still increases by 1. So we're going to not defend against the Harpies, which means they're just going to go back to the discard pile, but their ability of all outer regions at level 0 go up does not happen. Is that worth it? That only affects... Well, he can do it. It's not worth it, because he can't defend against these guys anyway. They require 2 health, and he's only got 1. So he couldn't defend against them regardless. Yeah, we'll do that. So that's the best use of his ability. So the mountains do go up to threat 2, which he can reduce on his turn next time around. So that was pretty good. You know, that's fair. Okay, we'll continue on from there. Now, he didn't defend, so he doesn't get the experience points for defending. Really want to level somebody up. Let's see what we get next. Oh, it's going to be the forest and the plains and the forest. So, obviously, Terax is going to use maneuver again. It means he exhausts himself. He does get an experience point because he's defending, and that means that both the plains and the forest do not go up in threat. So, he's just, man, he's really battling it out. It's taken its toll on him, but he is surviving the turn. And that's going to end the round, guys. That was pretty good. Not too bad. So, we still have 3 caravans that got to get out, and we have 3 more full rounds to do it in. So, yuck, right? I guess you have to get one. You have to try and get as many back there because, yeah. Well, anyway, we're going to flip this over and get ready to do our next round. So let's take the top card off, put that there. We'll shuffle these up. Hopefully, we get some. I'd love it if the player turns came out sooner rather than later, because then I can move somebody into the desert and plains and get rid of some bad cards. Yeah, because see, you can bury cards in there. While it says, while in the desert, lose 2 health to place 2 cards from the turn deck without revealing them on this card, so we could get rid of a couple of cards temporarily. That would be really good. Yeah. All right. Well, there we go. We are shuffled like crazy, I think. That's good enough. I'll do a quick cut just to do it. Okay, that goes there. Then the sirens come out of the ruins. They are no longer entombed, but they're in the discard pile. And then we have to roll for our little caravans. We're going to roll 1, 2, or 3. Let's see what we get. A 2. So it's going to be the 1 in the middle here. It's going to be the 1 in the forest. So maybe Terax, it's time for him to heal, and then Boogie. He can't. If he heals, he won't have. He'll have to prepare to move. But that's okay. I think we are okay there. I'm not sure. But we got, you know, that's the 4th of our caravans. We can get them into the city and prepare to fight the general. It's going to be pretty tough for us, guys, I think. We'll see. I should have left Harpier in the city. But I didn't, so we're going to have to live with that decision. It could be a costly one. Okay, let's start our new turn. What are we going to have come up first? All defenders, so we get the 3 actions from all defenders. Yeah, I know exactly what we're doing with these. Harpier is going to secure the mountain region, put it back down to 1 for 1. He's going to move there for 1 and bring that down to 0. Now he's there prepared to get rejuvenated on the coast. Assuming the Harpies don't come out first, but because there's nobody in the mountains to stop them at this point. Though we might have Gamelin there to do that. We'll have to see. Basically, that was all of the all defenders actions. He took all of those actions to get to the coastline. We've got to heal him. I need to heal him, but he might get enough experience to level up on his turn. We'll see. Okay, let's draw the next card and see what we get. Green. So, okay, so Terax is going next. Now, Terax is exhausted, but not for long, because he can spend 2 experience points to use his first aid and get him back down to 3 He's there with the caravan, so I think for his first action... I don't know if I want him leaving the forest, though. I may have to send Gamelin over there. Maybe he leaves the forest on the next in the next round or two, because we just have to get it back before long. We don't have to drive the caravan there right now. That's not a critical item. But we do want to be able to defend the region a little bit, since we know it gets attacked repeatedly in the forest. So I think he'll spend 2 actions to prepare, which is going to put him back up to 2 experience points. And then he'll use those experience points again to do first aid, put him back down to 2. Now he can defend the region one more time. And he still has 1 action left, which he'll use to secure the region. Okay. That was Terex's turn. That's it. Not a very long... I mean, he's the defender of the forest right now. That's what he's doing. He's been pretty good at keeping us down in safe space there. I think in this game, if you don't get through this first round without losing a region, I think you're doomed. So I'm trying to make sure we don't lose a region in this round, meaning the first fight with one of the generals. Okay, next up we've got the mountains and the plains. Okay, so the mountains. Okay, well, that's bad, but it's okay. It will be fine. So first off, in the mountains, it is going to go up to 2. We have no way to defend that. And in the plains, we're suffering from the same thing. We have no way to defend that either. So there you go. Okay, that is it for that. Let's draw the next card, see what we get. Oh, it's going to be the forest and the coast. Well, we know what we're going to do. Terex is going to use his maneuver ability, which means he is exhausted again, but no threat goes up in the forest or the coast, and that is important. Especially since we want Harpier to rejuvenate himself. Let's see what we get next. Oh, man. Okay. Wow, guys. The plains might be in trouble. We might have to boogie on over there. Okay, so first is going to be the plains. So the plains are going to go up to 3. Ouch. I think that's the only other one we have, though. And then the forest is going to go up to 1. We really can't prevent that. So it goes from 0 to 1, which is not terrible. And then let's see what we get next. The blue player. So Gamelin's going to go next. I had a plan for him, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. Because I might need him to go take care of the plains, right? No, we know what we got to do. We got to get the... We can't let the sirens get back into the deck. They take all of our experience points. So let's do this. He's going to move 1 into the mountains, which is fine. He's then going to use his dual wield ability to spend 1 experience point. That puts him down to 1 to lower the threat there. He uses dual wield to secure the region. And then he's going to move there with his second action. That's all he's done. And for his third action, he's going to entomb again. So we have got these sirens entombed in there. He's had to do that a lot, but it's worth it. It's worth it. Okay, now, I think the only one we have left to go is Terex. Sorry, Harpier. I keep doing that. And it is. It's Harpier. He gets to go next. So, he is currently in the coast. It is at 0, so he's going to use his first 2 actions to rejuvenate, which means he goes all the way back down. He fully heals up to he fully heals. Basically, and that happens if the coast is at 0 threat, which it currently is. But that cost him 2 of his 3 actions. And let's see, what are we going to do next? Now, we know, you know what we should do? Yeah, I'm a little worried about the plains being destroyed. But I think I would rather take the last action to go to the mountains, because we know that the harpies are going to come up and he can defeat them and get an artifact. So we're going to move there. He's perfectly healthy now, so he can take the 2 hits. Man, we're putting the plains at risk, but I think it's what we got to do. Man, it could become destroyed, but we'll see. That also, remember, ruining a territory gets a card out of our deck too, which is helpful. Okay, let's go on and continue. I don't think there are any more plains cards. Well, and there you go. The harpies came out next. That's really good for us. So the outer regions. I'm not going to use his Ironhide ability because I actually want to fight them. I want to defend against him. So his that means that we're going to defend against the Harpies, which means that all the ones at 0 are going to go up 1. So the Ruins and the Coast go up 1, both go up 1 threat, and then Harpier defends against the Harpies. So he defends, he takes 2, that gives him another experience point, which is good, and because he defended against the Harpies, they go back to the discard pile now, and he gets a artifact. So here are the artifacts. We'll just give him a quick cut and a shuffle. There we go. What does he get? He gets the Ale of Bravery. At 0 health, you may either secure once or fight once for your turn. Really? At 0 health? Well, that's interesting. We're going to put that in his items. And then we get to do something really cool. Harpier is now carrying the Ale of Bravery, which you can now see on his meeple. That's pretty neat. I really like the item meeples. I loved them when they came out in Tiny Epic Quest, and I'm really loving them in this too. But we're not done yet, so let's go take the next turn. So we know we defended against the Harpies. That I already gave him the experience for that. That does not increase the threat there. That is good. I think when you defend, even if it's against a dire enemy, you only gain 1 experience. I'm just double checking. Yes, you do. Okay, that's it. Let's move on. He's going to be able to level up soon. We still got a couple cards in here left. Oh, Forest and Desert. Okay. Well, Terex cannot defend, so Forest is going to go up 1, and the Desert's going to go up 1. We're actually in a little bit of trouble right now. We gotta make some moves. I think we're going to have to get Terex out of there somehow. But that was a good play by Harpier. He did some good there. And then last but not least, we have the Mountains and the Ruins. Okay, well, the Manticore's there. So here's what happens. When the region with the Manticore is attacked, move the Manticore clockwise 1 region. So he moves to here. That means that Terex actually has to move to the desert, unfortunately, because he has to move clockwise as a result. If a defender is in the region, he can choose to move either clockwise without spending an action or take a health. Well, he's exhausted, so he can't do that. I figured he had to move. So that's the way it goes. Now, here in this region, we a region with the mana coordinate. So now we can defend there, and Gamelin's definitely going to do that. He is going to defend the region so it doesn't go up, and that gives him 2 experience points. So that is the end of that action, and that's the end of the round again. So we are back to the next round. So let's get it set up to go. This is starting to get real rough on us. We're starting to get some bad stuff. So we got to add 1 more card. Remember, this is the last card there for the round before we have to face the general. He's going to come out. That's no bueno. So we're going to shuffle these up. Now, when we defeat the general, all defenders are going to gain a pretty healthy load of experience. Maybe get to level up Harpier. I'm saying when we defeat the general, you notice? Okay, so we shuffled these up really good. Then we're going to take the Sirens, put them back in the discard pile, and then we're going to roll for our Caravan. We got 2, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so this one's going to go. It's the one in the desert. Great. That means Harpier can get that quickly into the city, where I think he's going to have to take an action there to do something helpful. I hope he goes not first, but maybe like in the 3rd or 4th round. If we get a couple of heroes that go before him, then he can take a good action in the desert to bury some cards. That would be really, really helpful. Of course, we could lose the desert in the meantime, but he can't defend it right now, so that's bad. Yeah. Well, we got our first artifact. That's a good thing, right? Maybe Gamelin can go into the... his first action is going to be in the Ruins to entomb the Sirens again. That's been helpful to us, but we got to get to the plains. We're going to lose the plains if we're not careful. All right, guys. Well, that actually, I think, is going to be this episode. So, we got 1 more big round before we have to fight the general. That's why I think it's a good time to break this episode. Be a little shorter, but that's okay. So I hope you're enjoying Tiny Epic Defenders with the Dark War series and the item meeples and the caravans and all the cool monsters. It's very cool. I'm super excited about it. It's a lot of fun already. I hope you're enjoying it. And I will see you in the next episode, guys. So take care, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.